Hi, welcome to this screencast on method lookup in Ruby. I'll be explaining the basics of how the method lookup works. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to declare a module, two modules actually. It's just empty, does nothing. And then let's define a class that will include both the modules we have defined. Let's print the ancestors. Okay, the ancestors is basically found in the module, this module in Ruby. It's an instance method in this module. It returns an array of ancestors including both classes and modules. So if you run this, you'll see that it returns foo, which is the class, and the daffy, which is a module, and bunny is also another module, the object, and kernel. Okay, kernel is the module in which Ruby's built-in functions are defined as module functions. Since it's included in object, kernel is indirectly included in all classes. What this means is you don't need a receiver in order to invoke the functions defined in kernel. It's kind of like just calling a function. You just give the name of the function and it'll just work. So that's how puts, for instance, you're able to call like this print, right? You don't have a receiver in this case. So as you can see, it's ordered. No matter how many times you run, it's always ordered this way. And the significance of this is what we are going to see, what this ordering means in Ruby, why it's always returning in this order. Also, I just want to briefly mention that module has no superclass and cannot be instantiated. And we already seen previous screencasts things about module, so I won't be going over the module related stuff here. Now let's define a method in these two modules that we have. Okay, they have the same method. So what happens since the Ruby does not, in Ruby we don't have multiple inheritance. One way to kind of have multiple inheritance simulate is to have modules, and you can just mix in. This way you'll get functionality from different uh, parts, modules. But in this case, since you have the same name, what happens is kind of like the diamond inheritance problem. Which one is going to win? There is a conflict here in the name. So if you create an instance of new, since that a name is an instance method, we create an instance of foo and then call that instance method available on class foo. See, it returned daffy, which was included after bunny. So the way this thing works is, as we saw earlier, if I print ancestors, Ruby first looks for, if you call that particular any method, it goes and checks if it's available on the class foo. Since the name is not available in foo, it goes now and looks for it in daffy, because that's the last thing that was included, and it wins. It overrides if anyone else defines the same thing. In this case, bunny also has defined it, but this guy wins in the end. And if it doesn't find, for instance, in daffy, it will look for it in bunny. If it doesn't find it there, it will look for it in object, and finally in kernel. and if it doesn't find it, it's going to throw the you know method missing. And if you have somewhere you have method missing hook declared, you can handle it there, but I won't get into the detail in this screencast. So this is the basic of method lookup in Ruby, and I hope you learned something from this, and if you enjoyed it, please recommend me on Working with Rails. Thank you.